Of all the bands who developed out of that period, let's say the 80s decade, and of course we've had various revivals, haven't we, different bands, and I'm very pleased, Mark, that you don't succumb to the package tour scenario and you have gone out and you're
well, they haven't offered me enough money, that's what it is.
Oh, well, but the thing is,
the principle, it's the money.
No, I know, but it's so dissatisfying for the fans, really, because you only get a short set and it's the greatest hits all the time, and you know what it's like. And great to play to those big audiences, but again, because of the musicality that was plainly evident in Level 42 from the earliest times, you know, with Mike Vernon, I mean, you have proved far more durable than most of your peers, really, haven't you? And the fact you're now gigging in 2016 says an awful lot, and not least the fact you've had so many hit singles.
Well, thank you for that, David. Yeah, these are all things that, you know, that are true. You know, I don't have a problem with any of my mates and my peers from that period, you know, getting involved with the package tours and stuff. It's just something that didn't seem relevant to Level 42, because it's always been a band as such, and it's never just been you know, like a front man who was writing the songs or something, in which case that can lend itself to having a house band and you go up and you perform your songs, and that's absolutely fine, but that's not what Level 42 does. Level 42, you know, has always been a band, and you know, the great history of amazing drummers that we've had over the years, you know, starting with Phil, and then the fantastic Gary Husband came in 1987, and then Gavin Harrison came and toured with us, and then Gary Husband came back again, and now we have this wonderful kid, Pete Ray Biggin, on drums. You know, as a rhythm section, that's an important thing for me. I'm not sure I'd feel comfortable sort of getting up on stage and just sort of running through 3 or 4 songs, you know, the same for 3 or 4 songs. I don't have a problem playing the hits at all. I mean, you know, when we go out, we play them.
Yes.
You know, if I go and see an artist that I love, I want to see the songs that I love from those periods, and that can be all kinds of things, you know. But if I go and see, I don't know, Todd Rundgren, you know, I want him to play Hello, It's Me, and, you know, the songs that they're best known for, i.e. the hits, I suppose.
Yes.
It's the same, you know, to go and see Queen, you'd feel shortchanged if, in fact, you'd hate it if they were suddenly to say, you know, listen, we're going to play our new triple album in its entirety. I think if you ever want to see an audience look terrified, tell them you're going to play them the whole of the new album, and that generally sort of is a good place to start. So, now, hits are great to play.
No, we'll have to talk a bit more about set list, because I always think it's a fascinating subject, viewed from the musician's point of view and also the fan's point of view. How do you go about selecting your set list these days, Mark? I mean, I know you've got the core greatest hits, but do you ever get a bit sort of adventurous and go back and rediscover some...
I try and be adventurous, you know, that it's tricky. I think, you know, it's sort of in the earlier days of you know, about sort of 10 years ago, of when we had the website up, I thought, well, maybe it would be good to put it in the palms of the, you know, the Level 42 fans and see what they say. It's a bit like asking Britain whether we should be in the EU or not, you know, it's a question.
Yes.
It's more complicated. So, you know, I think that there's a bit of an art to it, you know, and it's, I'm always, once again, minded of a Miles Davis thing, but he says, you know, it's how you start and how you finish. It's not too fussy about what goes on in the middle. But it wants to come in big and it wants to go out big. And when you sort of start thinking like that in terms of the drama of the set, you know, it starts, well, this is how I want it to be for Level 42 anyway. Then that starts sort of shaping itself in terms of the material that you've got to choose from, which is an awful lot as it happens over the years. But then, once again, there are also those sort of down-home, you know, classic hits that people want to hear. And it's, you know, far be it from me to deny them that, as we covered earlier on, you know, that if you go and see somebody you like, you want to hear them play the songs that you like of them. And, yeah, so I can't tell you what the set's going to be right now, because I haven't even started thinking about it. But I guess I ought to, get on. As time goes, isn't it?
What about new listeners to the band? You're going to get new fans after this October tour. And hopefully, you know, in a small way, this sequence will widen the scope. You know, for many people, they might not know some of the detail about the band. But I mean, is there an album that you'd recommend to new listeners to Level 42? A studio album that you're particularly happy with, Mark?
Well, I think that the World Machine album is a very good example of you know, what Level 42 were about. There's still all the elements of how we started out in there, and also, you know, perhaps part of the reason the band started to fall apart. It's all in that album there, the World Machine album. You know, there's sort of something for everybody in that, and it's good sonically. I'm so glad to see this sort of resurgence of vinyl. That's a wonderful thing. You know, that we've been sold down the river in a lot of ways with MP3s and things like that, you know, where algorithms take out music that it thinks you can't hear. Well, I don't want an algorithm telling me what I can or can't hear. I want to be able to put it on and make a decision myself, you know. So I love vinyl, and I love the fact that... so if you can get a copy of World Machine on vinyl, and as it happens, I think you can probably get one on the Level 42 website, that's a very good place to start.
Yes. Right, well, we'll direct people to that. And I should also mention this was the era of the limited edition and the 12-inch single, and of course that's a job in itself, isn't it, to track down all that, you know, bonus tracks and all sorts of stuff, picture discs. It was all there. Yeah,
well, Universal Music have just this very week released, it's called Collected, and it's a 3-CD collection of all Level 42 material. This is Universal Music in Holland, I hasten to add. So right. You can see links on our Facebook page and on the Level 42 website. And, you know, if you're interested, because that's, you know, that's also a very good way to get into what the band's about, because it's sort of classic cuts from every album, plus some rarities, some 12 inches and, you know, things like that.